Our first victim is gone. Taylor Self is here. The next victim is waiting in the wings.
It's this. It's blind, relentless, constant pursuit of excellence. That's what it is.
Wow. I do honestly think this will be the best thing that could have happened for Kill Taylor. And hey, to a lot of the things in the video and the comments, feedback received. I think there's a ton of good stuff in there. We're going to review the video step by step because I'm going to point out some of the feedback that I really appreciated and a lot of it that I'll take and implement. And then also I think some misconceptions, add some missing context, and make a few corrections about things that are just actually completely wrong. But I think the overarching general theme is, I think this will be a good thing for Kill Taylor. So I do want to begin with, this mic is off. Gosh darn it. I guess plugging it in would help. Wow, what am I? How's that? Better. Okay, so anyways, I think it's important to get a couple things out of the way. First, there is a presupposition to any Hiller video about myself or any other content creator that the primary purpose of that video is to generate views and clicks. And I think, of course, we want Kill Taylor to do well. And of course, we wouldn't do the show if no one watched it. But at the same time, I have no interest in doing a show that is overly stressful, that I don't want to do every week, or that I don't have fun on. So for me, the views and the clicks are a partial priority, but they're not the entire priority. My business isn't YouTube, and I'm not in the business of creating videos and content to drive people to a certain place. I think if there's any place to look at content that I've focused hard on creating recently, it would be my Sentinel training channel and the coaching tip videos that we do. That's content that I care about and things that I think that are important. For me, just to paint a bit of a backstory, I grew up watching Tosh.0 and South Park and Viva La Bam and Jackass. And those were the things that I found the most interest and joy in. So, and I'm not expecting everyone to think that's cool or enjoy that, but that's what I enjoy. And so for me, Kill Taylor is a place where I can work out because I do love to work out. It's a place where I can have fun with my friends because I love my friends. And it's a place where, to me, when you're watching Kill Taylor, it's like you're sitting in the room with us and we are just having a bunch of fun. That's not to say there's not a ton of ways it can improve. Obviously so. But I don't want anyone to conflate this idea that just because it's not what you want, we need to change it to fit that, because I have no interest in doing that. I think a good example of this is the Amazon Prime show called The Boys. It's like their #1 biggest selling, viewing, best performing TV series on Amazon Prime. It's probably one of the most vulgar television shows in existence, not just with like swear words, but like sexual raunchiness. I mean, they have a superhero whose superpower is like a super penis that he uses to kill people with what comes out of it, etc. And that's Amazon Prime's best performing show. That's not what I want Kill Taylor to be. And sometimes it has devolved into that. But that's just an example of, hey, if you don't like swearing and some vulgarity, it's just not the show for you. If, man, I can't watch it because I'm around my kids, well, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in doing a show that's kid friendly right now. Maybe one day that will change. Maybe one day when Lizzie and I have kids, I'll say, man, I want my kids to be able to watch this show. Or I'll say, hey, you guys can't turn on YouTube this morning. You're not allowed to watch this show. So I just wanted to get that little bit out of the way. And I'll say this. I think the base assumption, and Hiller does a good job of this in his video. He says, this is my opinion of how I think things should be done on the internet. And then he references a completely different scenario, but he says, hey, this is just his opinion. And I think this is really important to assume that just because you know however many people in your audience won't watch when you swear, that it's best for you to not swear for your content doesn't mean that I shouldn't swear in my content or we shouldn't do what we like to do on Kill Taylor. I think, you know, the important thing to point out here is, like, just because we're swearing doesn't make it negative. Just because we're swearing doesn't mean we don't want people to watch. But at the same time, I have no desire to come up with a workout, stress out for a week, wake up in the morning, do a workout, and sit on a show that I have no fun or don't enjoy being on for views and clicks. I just have no interest in that. I don't get paid for it. I think people may reference, oh, well, what about Sentinel? Well, there's probably a strong argument to be made that I've run just as many people away from Sentinel with Kill Taylor as I have attracted. So for me, it's very little work, almost all play. And I get to do CrossFit, hang out with Sevon, hang out with Peter, used to hang out with Hiller, used to hang out with Tyler, Souza, Caleb, Brad now, Bryson. That's why I enjoy it. And with that, let's just go ahead and get started with this.
I love this show, but I prefer the original format. The workouts used to be more interesting.
You guys hear? When I'm playing this video, I just want to make sure you guys can hear this because I can't hear anything for whatever reason.
With the double.
Maybe I need to fix my audio. Oh, duh, that's why. Speaker, MacBook Pro speakers. Okay, here we go.
Already. Make dumbbells great again. This format.
Nope, I'm still getting no audio. Jeez Louise. One second. Sorry, you guys.
That sucks. This format.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing and restart it. This is the most unfortunate part about me doing this show by myself.
I love this show.
Nope. All right, hold on. Let me grab headphones.
But I prefer the original.
Got it. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Format. The workouts used to be more interesting as well. Enough with the double unders already. Make dumbbells great again. This format sucks. This format sucks balls. This format is awful. Terrible decision on whoever decided this disaster. And let me just say that I agree with the sentiment of most of those comments before I get into anything else. I'm going to let you know that I've put more thought into this video than they put into the last 50 Kill Taylors combined. And the best part about your show is the...
So I'm going to stop right here and interject because I think one of the biggest pieces of feedback from this video... Relax, James. Relax. I can multitask. One of the biggest pieces of feedback from this video is, oh my gosh, I hate the new format. I mean, there's like 200 plus comments on this video. Over 60% of them are, wow, this new format freaking sucks. Holy cow, guys. And it's interesting because Andrew Hiller was in our group chat and is someone I would have considered calling a friend. And is someone I think who even reached out and texted me after the fact. Like maybe he texted me separately. And later in this video, we'll get to this point. He brings up how he brings out how the week, Jesus, see what you did to me there? he brings up how the weekend James did the workout first was where we had some sort of massive epiphany, right? Oh my gosh, this new format is great. We're just going to, roll with this. It's going to change the game. We love it. And I don't know if he purposefully left this out or if he just truly didn't know. If he truly didn't know, then what he just said at this last moment is so wrong. It's not even funny. He says, I've put more thought into this singular video than they have put into the last 50 Kill Taylors combined. And if that were true, he would have known this fact. Essentially, one of his most fundamental arguments to, hey, this is why the show sucks and why it's tanking is because of the new format. And right, that's fine, but he leaves out the most critical piece of context having to do with this format. And Jay Wolf, it has nothing to do with the constructive criticism. It has to do with the morning James did the workout first. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. My wife was crying, saying, I think I need to go to the hospital. So I texted Sevon and I said, hey, I'm taking Lizzie to the hospital. This is like the third thing I did. I get in the car. I'm like, hey, I'm taking Lizzie to the hospital. I'm not sure what's wrong. But I don't think I'll be on the show. Maybe she'll be fine and she'll get some IV fluids and I will be. And then obviously this was less than 3 months ago. This was on November 28th and November 29th. And I was in the hospital for 2 days. And my wife had a miscarriage, a stillbirth, not a miscarriage. She gave birth. She almost died. And I clearly didn't perform Kill Taylor that Saturday because I was in the hospital. And I texted James maybe Sunday or Monday when I got home after I buried my dead son. And I said, hey, I don't know when I'm going to do the workout. This is kind of what happened. I haven't talked to people about it yet. I don't really feel like working out. And so we went to that format. And then the next week I did the workout, I believe. And it was a nice relief off of my shoulders. It was like, wow, I didn't want to do anything all week. I honestly didn't even want to do this, but this was really easy and I could get my mind wrapped around this. So I told Sevon, hey, I want to do this for another week. What did you think about it? And all he was supportive of me. He was like, hey, I'll do whatever you want to do. And I think at the time I didn't even think about this, but it just felt so much easier. And again, to put into context, that was on November 28th. I know all you guys hate the fucking format. That's great. Sorry, I'm not working out every weekend. Like, what do you want from me? I mean, this isn't the only takeaway from the video. It's one takeaway, but dude, I'm not Netflix. I don't have a team of producers. There most of the time isn't another athlete to sub in. Shout out to Morgan for doing that when she did. For me to get my head wrapped around just everything that I had going on, not even wanting to do it or be in front of a camera or put myself out there to begin with, after that, it was a lot easier for me. And so I will say this, feedback received. You guys hate the format. We'll be open to changing it. We may change it after this next weekend, and I'll go over that a little bit later. But it is important to note, I didn't pick the new format and was like, oh, this is awesome. Bing, light bulb went off. This is the greatest new thing ever. No, dude. I think another point of the video, we'll get to this too, but it's in relation to this is the consistency thing. I've called in sick twice in 84 episodes and rescheduled the show to a few days later. I missed the show for this reason. And then I've never missed another week that I haven't done it on a different day because I was traveling to an event. I did it from a hotel room in Italy. I did a double on Christmas week. I did it at Affiliate Con. I did it the day before competing at semifinals. What else? I did it in Rich's Barn at the Mayhem Classic. Exactly. So it's the consistency thing. That's not going to change. We do the workout on Saturday. most of the time as best we can. If I'm sick and I can't work out, I'm not going to do it. If I'm traveling at an event and coaching an athlete, I'm not going to prioritize Kill Taylor over that. So format change, feedback received, maybe having that bit of context sort of help things as to why we did that. But also, I don't care. You clearly don't care. And hey, I know the audience. I know a lot of you guys with that feedback. I know you guys don't give a fuck. And hey, as soon as I'm ready to get back to working out every single week, I will do that. But for that moment in time, it was the easy thing for me to do. And I think what's most important about that is Kill Taylor's not paying my bills. It's not my main job. I didn't take a fucking second of break from programming, from the things, the obligations I had with Sentinel and Bryson, and I care about that stuff. And it's given me everything that I have, just like maybe even this platform and Sevon have. So I respect it a ton. And Kill Taylor is important to me, but it's bottom of the totem pole in terms of the priorities in my life. And I think for me, someone who what I would have considered a friend for, I don't know, the past 4 years, was in a pretty close, tight-knit group chat with all of us, stopped doing the show one day and never told anyone why, ended up leaving our group chat and again, didn't really say why. There's a lot of feedback that I'm going to take in here and apply it. And there are also a lot of things that it's impossible for me not to be biased and be upset about because of that fact. So I'm not saying that anything he did was wrong. I'm not saying that he owed me anything. I made those assumptions and that's on me. I thought we were friends and that's on me. And I can tell you this, if I had feedback for Bryson, I wouldn't be making a video about it before telling it to him myself, because that's just not what I do. I care about my friends. Let's get back to his video.
Intro piece put in by a character not even on the show. You got an issue.
Oh, this is a good part. This is really, really good here. And this is the other important element about Hiller just firing off his videos without any pushback or feedback prior to, is because a lot of his points that he thinks are logical don't stand up to any sort of scrutiny.
Interested in most of those comments before I get into anything else. I'm going to let you know that I've put more thought into this video than they've put into the last 50 Kill Taylors combined. When the best part about your show is the intro piece put in by a character not even on the show.
He says the best part of the show is an intro piece put on by a character who's not even a part of the show. Meanwhile, he goes on to give vulgarity and swearing as one of the reasons that the show is tanking so much. Is Pool Boy the reason is the best part of the video, or is vulgarity and the swearing the reason the views are tanking? Because you can't really have your cake and eat it too here. I love the Pool Boy intros, but sometimes I cringe at how vulgar they are. And a lot of the time it's because of what I'm doing in the intro. But to say that the intros of Pool Boy are the best part of the show, and then to lay all the groundwork for why it sucks being it's vulgar and there's too much swearing. Oh my gosh. And hey, I'm also open to hearing people who are like, hey, Pool Boy's the worst part. That's fine. I don't care. I like the Pool Boy intros. I also like the music. I'm going to advocate for, hey, we should bring the music at the beginning back. Then Sevon should do the bit. And then Pool Boy should intro the workout. I think that would be great. But to lay the groundwork and to say, oh, this is the best part of the video, but all the swearing and vulgarity, like this is why the views are tanking. I mean, dude, that makes no sense. Have you even seen the Pool Boy intros?
Joe, you got an issue.
Goodness gracious.
Anyway, this video is going to be about the show Kill Taylor, the YouTube show, the TV show. It is frequently called the greatest show on the internet.
Welcome to Kill.
And I think here's why, like, I will say a lot of this feedback, again, I probably can't even say it enough times. A lot of this feedback is great. And this video will be the best thing that's happened to Kill Taylor so far. When people give me feedback, I get fired up and I want to improve, especially when it's from people whose opinion I value. So, and that is what this is. I do think it's important to note it probably rubs Hiller the wrong way that Sevon calls it the best show on the internet. Hiller does not like not being the best at anything he does.
Taylor's the greatest show on the internet.
And it's the longest running CrossFit show in history. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to say it. A show with nearly 1 million views, about 960,000. It's also a show that's given out nearly $40,000 to the athletes who have competed in it amongst those 82 weeks. So why are the viewers so upset? Because here's the thing about TV shows. Everybody's watched them. Everybody's had opinions on them, but a lot of us have probably heard of Breaking Bad. One of the
And here's, oh my gosh, this is good. Hey, Sevan calls it the greatest show on the internet. It's not a TV show. It's not Game of Thrones. It's not Breaking Bad. It's not some post-produced piece of cinematic beauty that we're going to. It's not absolute cinema. It's you sitting in a room with Sevan, myself, now Brad, Caleb, and Souza, and whoever decides to call into the show. That's what it is. And I do a workout as hard as I can. Sometimes people beat me. A lot of the times we pay them money. When someone ties me, we do another show an hour later of me weighing my sandbag to see who actually was the winner. And then when my sandbag weighed less, we paid the guy. That's what it is. It's not my job. It's not a freaking Netflix show. Stop conflating things. If you don't like that I say the word fuck, don't watch the show, because I'm not going to stop doing that. I will say this. I addressed the format thing. The two new formats that I'm thinking of switching to are going to be either a 90-minute show every single week, where for the first 45 minutes, we have callers call in to try to set the time. The last 45 minutes are spent me warming up and then completing the workout and talking about it. That's option one. Option two is we do the show every single week on weeks where I don't compete, or sorry, I think every week I still compete. So for example, this next weekend, I beat Hattie's time on Saturday that's coming up. And then as soon as I beat Hattie's time, everyone can call in to set the time to beat for when I go the next week. I've talked to both with Sevan. I'm actually open to hearing your guys' feedback. You should put down in the comments, not the live chat, because I'm ignoring most of you today, but you should put down in the comments for this video which of those versions you prefer. Do you prefer the 90-minute version where we watch for 45, then I go? Or do you prefer I do a workout from the previous week and beat whatever set time to beat, and then people call in for the workout the next week? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Put that down in the comments. I did see a great option a great comment that I do want to pull up, and we'll get to this part of the show. Wow, gosh, there's a lot in here. I'm not going to get to it. Anyways, it was someone saying, hey, I just prefer not to see your butthole. And look, I have nothing to say about that other than I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know what else to do other than smile and say I'm sorry, and it won't happen again. You'll never see it again unless you are like, one of my really close friends, and you'll probably still see it again. But otherwise, you guys will never see it again on Kill Taylor. So sorry about that. Don't have an excuse. Shouldn't have done it. Won't happen again. For those of you that stick with us, regardless of that, love you guys. Appreciate it. Let me pull this back up. I don't think you're that glad, Travis.
Greatest shows of all time due to the fact that it's been good from start to finish. And to parallel that show with another one that a lot of us have probably watched or at least heard of is Game of Thrones. It's a show that was so... My next thought
Okay, I'm going to skip through this. Like, hey, the shows do really, really good. Then they start to suck ass. People basically give them opinions on why the show sucks ass. And either they try to improve and it gets better, or I think in this case, and most of these cases that he discussed, they don't change anything and they just suck until they disappear. I hope that's not what happens to this show. We're going to make some changes that I think will make some people happy, but ultimately we're just going to do what we continue to find enjoyable. And the other part of the lackluster, or kind of its luster wearing off is, and we'll get to this part of the video, I'm not the fittest man on earth. My work capacity across broad time and modal domains, I already told the changes, Ortega. My work capacity across broad time and modal domains is so limited that yes, you're going to see a dumbbell a lot of the times. You're going to see legless rope climbs. You're going to see pegboards. You're going to see burpees when I feel like I'm pretty fit. You're going to see a sandbag. I'm really great at those things because the whole premise of the show is I try to create a workout that people can't beat me in. And here's what's even more important than that. especially so when I'm doing the workout every weekend. It has to be something that fits into my training. And most of my training is testing for Sentinel. And it has to be something that I want to wrap my head around, blacking out and going into a dark hole every single weekend. Oh, dang, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we had to have Morgan do the show. I hurt my back. Oh, bummer. There's not any dumbbells or sandbags for 3 weeks. Sorry, I had a back spasm. So actually, I'm not. I'm being facetious. I don't give a fuck. The workout's not going to change like that. The workouts are going to be what I want to do when I want to do them. And if people want the money and call in to beat me, great. I'm just not good enough to do anything other than that. And I'm okay with that. And maybe one day this show will turn into another athlete filling in and doing the workouts. Maybe we'll figure out, hey, we can line up a stable of athletes that'll do one each week. I don't know. But I will say this. This format is not difficult to replicate at all. Doesn't take very many things.
Probably wouldn't. Like, why would somebody want to create something that they know isn't going to a couple of episodes? A lot of them are in relation to the format. But if you just don't want to take the comments for it, you can just look at the trend of the
Okay, the format again.
viewership. Over the course of the first 20 episodes, Kill Taylor averaged 17,000 views, 64. All green episodes up front to maybe all orange episodes towards the back end. Maybe like a red, like a 5. I think red signifies a 5. Or like a red orange, which is kind of like a regular bad. And I should have probably told you what those rankings are. There's absolute cinema, which is blue, which is regular. There's red, which is bad. About those absolute cinema moments is they usually feature some of the best athletes skill workout, and then Jason called in and then hit.
Great episode, by the way. Great episode.
People wanted to watch that. You get it's like
You, Jason, just pointed at himself.
And here's Butthole Gate. Here is Butthole Gate. And don't worry, you don't have to turn the TV off. This is blurred out. But here was this was probably one of my, at least in the past 8 years, but before I got sober, I mean, this would pale in comparison to some of the things I did then. But I'm not proud of this at all. I'm not proud of this in any way. I'm sorry. I don't have any excuses. I take full accountability for this. This is also why I'm doing the show alone. I take full accountability for all this. People don't like the show because it's too vulgar. I take full accountability for it. People don't like the show because the workouts suck and I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. Hey, I take full accountability for that. People don't like the show because of my accents and because I swear and because of the pool boy intros and the format, whatever. Hey, I take accountability for all of it. Even Butthole Gate, I take full accountability for it. Full accountability.
Oh boy. Oh,
and look, I'm not laughing at what I'm doing there. I'm laughing at my friend next to me laughing. That's what I'm laughing at. And maybe I should be someone who tries to make other people laugh less. I probably wouldn't get into trouble as much.
oh no. I think I saw the prolapse. Thing. Oh my God.
fatigue.
And so bad about Hiller continuously playing Sousa's face. And this is what I think I've forgotten on a lot of Shut Up and Scribble and Games update shows, which are far different the past couple weeks and will be going forward. And that is, hey, I'm not the only one using the channel to leverage my own platform. Like I'm not the only one who uses the channel to put myself out there and to, promote myself or whatever. And the last thing I want to do is ruin that experience or interfere with the ability for the other people who leverage the channel to do so. So on the past few weeks of Shut Up and Scribble, if you've watched it, it's probably more tame than you've ever seen me before on the show. Same thing with the last Games Update show or the past 2 weeks. And that'll continue to be the case going forward. On Kill Taylor, what will happen, and this is the feedback that I am most receptive to, is, oh, the vulgarity's way too much, especially when he has these emotional crash out outbursts. Hey, I agree. I'm not crashing out on purpose. So am I going to stop saying fuck? Definitely not. Am I going to stop doing my accents? 1000% not. But what is going to happen is every time I begin to crash out at a commenter, here's someone who would cause a crash out. Standy. She'd cause a huge crash out. So next time, if she's in the comments and decides to come and watch the show and I start to crash out, Sousa has a button now that's called Taylor's in Timeout. And he's going to hit that button and it's going to put me in timeout while I'm crashing out. And so, hey, here's why that's going to be a good thing. At worst, the part of the show is me crashing out and having an outburst that doesn't add to anything for most people and takes away from the show for even more. Well, I'm just going to be muted and I'm going to be put in timeout. And for the people who hate it when I crash out and they're just so sick of it, maybe they'll find me being punished for it reason enough to watch. So the crash outs won't go away. I'll be crashing out on mute. I think it'll be hilarious. It was my idea. I don't want to ruin everyone's viewers experience with a crash out. So I think this will be a good thing. I feel a little bad that I'm putting all the responsibility on Souza, but I feel like he's the one who's objective enough to do it. And we'll see if it works or not. Maybe it'll work enough for a time that it won't have to be permanent and I'll just stop crashing out. And so that's one change in the format's the other main change. We'll continue here.
Fact that they can't control their tongues while leaning into the idea that the tongues aren't to be uncontrolled. And let me tell you more about what I mean by that. If you follow along with my stuff, you'll know that at one point I stopped swearing.
He stopped swearing. And this is where Hiller goes into his tirade on moral authority and why swearing is the worst thing in the world. We get it, dude. You make videos and there's a huge cohort of people who hate them because they think that they're negative. All right. And you don't swear. They still hate the videos and they still think that they're negative. I'm someone who loves watching shows where people just are themselves freely, whether that includes swearing or not. I like when I'm watching Rogan and he swears. I like when I'm watching Barstool stuff and they swear. That doesn't bother me at all. Again, I talked a little bit about Jackass, Tosh.0, South Park, etc. Well, fuck less what Hiller thinks about it. Okay, shut the fuck up. Next.
On my YouTube.
For me, so I think the mute button will be beneficial for that. Additionally, there's a lot of conflation in the comments and an inability to make the distinction between me on Kill Taylor and me as a coach. Like, oh, you know, he's a great coach and programmer. And a lot of people who say I probably suck and they'll never know because of the show Kill Taylor. But I would just say to you, look at Sentinel's page. Look at my personal Instagram page. Look at me when I coach a class. Look at me on the coaching development shows. Dude, I do have an ability to put a time and place filter on for me. I just don't think that Kill Taylor is where I want to filter myself. And if it's a place where I have to, hey, I'm just going to stop doing it. And that's fine. If that's what most people want and we continue on and me saying the word fuck and talking about poop is going to cause everyone to stop watching, we'll stop doing the show. Trust me. I see Sue's in the comments. I'm not reading any of the comments. I hope you guys are chopping it up and fighting. It's fun not being beholden to you.
During my YouTube video, they're probably not going to watch it. Or if they are watching
oh no, they're not going to watch it. What am I going to do? They're not going to watch me. Oh no, what am I going to do? That would be a crash out moment that maybe Souza could mute me. I didn't swear. I didn't get vulgar. But that I was starting to crash out. We're getting into hot water here. Okay, crash out button hit. Okay, next we'll keep going.
That they're not going to feed the video to any long glorified episode. And then Game of Thrones has Crazy's breakdown about you're not just releasing 10 episodes morning at 8 a.m.
People always laugh at me because when we
here we go, the consistency. It's every Saturday at 8 a.m. I'm one person. I've been sick twice. My son fucking died. And my wife almost died. So I was in the hospital for 2 days. And I've traveled to Italy and done the workout. I've traveled to semifinals and done the workout on a Thursday when the next day was the clean and jerk run workout. I've traveled to Wadapalooza and done the workout. I've traveled to Mayhem and done the workout. I've traveled, holy shit, Christmas Day, I've done the workout. The consistency thing, I so just do not care about. This is one of those things when you put it into context. If the views are going to suck because I can't always do it at Saturday, 8 a.m. God dang it. Wow. Is my mic back? Crash out. Are we here? How is that? Is my mic any better now? I'm showing audio on the screen. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyways. if this whole issue about consistency is, I mean, again, if this is one of the fundamental pieces of, hey, why the show sucks, then it's just going to suck going forward. Because if I get sick, I'm taking a rest day. If my wife's in the hospital, I'm not going to do the workout. Again, I don't know how many different times I have to say this and how dumb you have to be to not acknowledge that, hey, it's literally just Taylor doing a workout. If he's sick, he's probably going to have to reschedule it. Oh my gosh. Like, Souza hit the crash out button. And crashing out. Okay, next. It's inconsistent. It's inconsistent.
We have the Kill Taylor show.
This is stupid feedback. And this is part of the thing when, and hey, this is his thing. It's not my thing, but he shoots it off just out of left field. Boo! And that's great. And hey, they do get a lot of views. So I think this is a good video. I think it's a great video for this reason. It's going to get way more views than I probably deserve or even warrant. So in that sense, it's great. In terms of the validity of its content, format change is great. Crash outs and vulgarity, at least within the context of crash outs, great. We're going to fix that. Consistency. I'm sorry. Do you have a schedule where you release a video at X time every week? Not that I know of. Every single YouTube show in the CrossFit space has rescheduled a time or two. Cry me a freaking river.
Saturdays live at 8 a.m.
Pacific time, unless something's going on, to which they don't know if something.
Oh, unless something's going on, to which they don't know if something's going on. You're right. I didn't know Friday night that I was going to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and we're going to give birth to a dead fucking baby in 2 days. I didn't know on Thursday or Friday, several months ago, that I was going to wake up diarrheaing my brains out and be unable to perform the burpee box get over total bar workout, etc. I mean, I don't know, like, how many other examples do I need to give? Dang, sorry for not knowing that one in advance and letting you guys all know.
Things going on until it's going on, or the day before it's going on.
Bummer.
Direct moment of where that thing. Every single chance you get, if you can leave a better impression right away.
And hey, and this is why post-produced stuff is so much easier. I think Hiller, I don't know how many live podcasts he's done, but there's never been any sort of schedule to it or any sort of consistency to it. And that's the reason things come up in life. And for something that's not my 9-to-5 job and something that's not paying me and like is my main source of passion or whatever. Yeah. If something comes up, I'm going to reschedule.
Than a worse impression or give people wear with my apparel in general, but I have a thing that they
I think
do
this is the
change
suit
the
analogy.
clothes
I don't
not
care
to-
about
could
it.
easily swear.
And here are the clothes we're going to change. Okay, it says, oh, you could easily stop swearing. Well, what about the people who enjoy swearing? What about the people who like that? They just they don't get what they want now, but now all the people who hate swearing that I don't care about. If you hate the swearing, trust me, I do not care. Sorry, I do not care at all. If you hate the crashing out, I care about that. That's stupid. I shouldn't crash out. I can be emotionally volatile. I'll say in real life, I'm typically far more calm, cool, and collected, but I will give you credit. When someone is in the comments, like here's a great example. Pat Lange is in the comments, Standy in the comments, David Weed, Lenderman. Hey, all pillars of the community that causes a crash out. But hey, guess what? I don't interact with people like that in my life. I never hang out with them. So my crash outs in life are few and far between. That's what I mean. The swearing and the vulgarity, something we're going to fix. And like, I'm sure Pool Boy is still going to talk about we sucking my microphone like a penis. And if you don't like that, it's just not the show for you. Love you guys for that. But the people who hate it, it's just not the show for you. Just like you wouldn't go watch a regular show on Amazon because there's a guy for you. I don't like that show. I watched like 2 episodes, don't like it. So I totally get if you don't like Kill Taylor. But you know what? My North Star isn't everyone liking it, as many clicks and views as possible. And my North Star is having 100% authentically myself.
Why would I want to fight the uphill battle?
Also, I don't even own a suit. Both the suits that I had created or tailored to me don't even fit anymore. I'm not on Reddit TrueTide, so they stopped fitting. And So I couldn't wear a suit if I wanted to.
Just so I can wear freaking basketball, wouldn't say in
Oh.
person. Anybody who's knows that there's a bunch of stuff that's been thrown out at a bunch of individuals. It's been bucketed.
Oh, this is great. This is the, hey, Taylor says things on the show that he would never say to somebody in real life. This is the Coach L example. When I went to Mayhem and met Coach L, he walked up to me, or we bumped into each other in a hallway. The interactions on video. And I said, hey, let's squash the beef. What I had crashed out on Coach L about was stealing workouts from other programs and repurposing them as his own. Is my audio still good? I feel like when people comment, they're commenting from previously when the audio was down. And so I keep seeing that and I'm like, oh, did my audio go down anymore? Anyways, etc. The Coach L issue, he was stealing workouts, repurposing them as his own, charging people $400 a month for programming, just copy and pasting, whatever. And I called him out for that because I saw that personally as something, wow, that's a terrible business practice. I hate that that exists in the space that I'm in. I want to draw attention to it. And most importantly, so many people sent all of that to me. So many people sent all that stuff. Hey, this is what he's doing. This was on my program when I followed Coach Ellen Brute. So I called it out. Then he challenged me to a programming competition. He said, hey, who's the better programmer? Let's do a competition. And I said, bet. Here's my workout. For time, bounce on my dick 50 times. Okay, Hiller, I'm sorry when I met him at Mayhem, I didn't say, hey, Coach L, want to go hit that workout in the back? Want to go hit the workout? Want to go hit the workout? 50 dick bounces? It was a great one, isn't it? Like, sorry, I didn't say that. And Hiller's going to go on to use the Danny Spiegel interaction with him at NorCal as his, hey, this is where I have my moral superiority, Mr. Internet Man. When you did that whole interaction for views and clicks and made a video out of it and posted it on your Instagram, it wasn't like you actually went to Danny Spiegel and wanted to reconcile anything. You just used it for more clicks, dude. So don't act here like I would never say anything online that I wouldn't say to anyone else in person. Blah, 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 blah. This is why I'm superior. Blah, 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 blah. You use that for clicks too. I just, that holds no water for me. Hey, yeah, Coach L, I didn't like that. I saw a workout that looked exactly like mine that you stole. I didn't like that people were DMing me telling me that you stole workouts from their program. I don't like that you charge $400 to copy and paste. I said all that. I don't need to re-say it again. And here's the thing. This is where that reputation comes from. The reputation comes from Hiller saying it and one episode with Cooper Marsh, 2 interactions. Sorry, 2 times. Hey, I went up to Cooper. I said, hey, do you want to have a conversation? And he said, is it going to be filmed? And I said, yeah. And I can't even remember what all was said after that. I got the whole thing on video. And then afterward, the audio, like the show apparently, was just absolutely crashing out, effed up. Sorry, I'm texting Seven about the audio. And we don't get that interaction. But there was no part that was like, oh, me being some way on the internet that I'm not in person. Because I told him all the things I had grief with. I was like, hey, I didn't like how you reached out to these sponsors and athletes and told them not to come on the show. I don't like this. I don't like that, etc. Don't know what to tell you.
As this is just part of the show. To be more specific,
this is just part of the show.
Taylor went after Coach L, stealing programming, copying workouts, being a crappy coach, and that's the G-rated version of all of it.
The R-rated version is, hey, bounce on my dick 50 times. That's the R-rated version. And Hiller can't say that because he's beholden to all of you that absolutely hate swear words. So he's beholden to you because you hate swear words. Unfortunately, I guess for me, you're not going to listen to my stuff because you don't like swear words. So that's the part that you missed here. The R-rated version was I told Coach L, hey, for our programming competition, the workout I'm going to submit is bounce on my dick 50 times. get to bouncing.
course, and then they bump into each other at CrossFit Mayhem, and it's all hunky dory. Like,
All hunky dory, all hunky dory. That's not what it was. You weren't there. You weren't there. You literally were not there. You heard from some of my friends that were there say, oh yeah, Taylor shook his hand and sucked his dick, which is just more locker room talk that now you're taking as just straight fact, not opinion, and making an entire video about. Crazy. This is perfect. Huge news for the unemployed.
nothing was ever said. Or was said to Tia to me. I 100% understand if that chick doesn't like me.
Oh, I wonder why Tia doesn't like you. Probably because you made a video debasing her entire career as chalked up to she used steroids without a shred of proof or evidence and made your entire account and name off of her back, calling her a cheater. And people will say, oh, Taylor sucks. He's the worst. He crashes out. He swears. Dude, my whole shtick isn't making entire videos debasing people's entire careers because I think they look like they did steroids. And for the record, I don't think Tia's ever been near a fucking steroid. When I see her in the warm-up area and when you see her compete, she seems like a person who's willing to do more and willing to work harder than anyone you've ever met in your entire life. And it is freaking crazy that Hiller would build his entire brand and reputation off saying that's not the case. It seems like maybe a world-class example of projection.
100% understand if she wants nothing to do.
But hey, he's morally superior because he would tell Tia to her face, I think you look like you do steroids. And because I didn't tell Coach L to bounce on my dick 50 times at Mayhem. So he's definitely got the high ground here. I'll concede. You win. You win. You would tell Tia that you think she looks like she does steroids and that her entire career is cheating. And I won't tell Coach L in person that I want him to bounce on my dick 50 times because I don't actually want him to do that.
The first thing that I would do if I had an interaction with that chick is probably talk about the video that I made about how I didn't think she.
Hey, did you see the video I made about you? about you can't even squat to depth? Good video, huh?
It was natural. Like it? The same way I did with a bunch of videos on this. This is
where the video turns into Hiller's entire opinion. He's the arbiter of what is good for the internet and what is not, what is good for CrossFit and what is not. There's plenty of content that I put out that's good for CrossFit. Coaching review episodes, the L4 series, everything with McCoy, a lot of the Shut Up and Scribbles, a lot of the games update shows, everything on Sentinel with zero exceptions. There's a lot of things that Hiller puts out that I'll argue are absolutely horrible for the space. But you are the arbiter of what is best and what is right and what is true north, good sir. Continue on.
Say to me, and then the rest is history. It didn't go well, but it's a personal thing with me. If you're going to say something on the internet, you should damn well be ready to say. Hey,
you know what? Here's a good example. On an early KT show, back when I was bouncing on the CAC, somehow Ellie Turner came up and I referenced an interview she did at Wodapalooza where she said some things that I thought were retarded and I called her a retard. And I meant nothing malicious by it. If someone called, again, put this into context for a moment. I know for a lot of you that word is going to be incredibly triggering. I'm being so serious right here. Take a deep breath. Don't crash out. Now imagine an emotionally damaged child who grew up with father issues, fatherless even some might say, gone to rehab, watched Jackass, watched South Park. You could infer that that word isn't the stab to the neck for him, that it might be for you. So when I said it about her, I wasn't trying to ruin her life or hurt her feelings. I said, I think that's retarded. Or maybe I think I even made a joke about her taking her dog with her and it being her seeing eye dog. After the fact, I found this out, that it caused an uproar. Everyone was crazy upset. And one of my good friends, who was friend with her boyfriend at the time, came to me. He was like, hey, dude, how would you feel if someone said this about Lizzie? I was like, I mean, if someone called her retarded, I wouldn't be that mad, but I get why she is mad. And I shouldn't have said it, and I apologize. I reached out and I apologize. It's not something I would avoid saying to anyone in person. I thought it was retarded. And I said sorry because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So, I mean, there's an example. I think that's the actual worst example. Every other bit of shit talk I've talked about an athlete on the show is that athlete fucking sucks at double unders. There's no shot they're going to beat me. I'm way fitter. Oh man, that's just way too far. And hey, I'm sure you could find examples of me saying worse, but I do think the one with the most blowback was that comment about Ellie, and I apologize for it. And I wouldn't say anything about her again. I also acknowledged after the fact, like, hey, I didn't know her. So me saying that, of course it could be interpreted in the way that she took it. And I didn't mean it that way, but she has no idea who I am. I'm just some guy on the internet saying that. So I don't know. This is feedback that I feel like I've already had and have already acted on.
And that Coach L thing is probably...
And again, not feedback that Hiller ever gave to me. Feedback that's coming in the form of a 15-minute video after leaving a group chat, never talking to me, and not getting any context. And again, not that he owes me any of that. I don't care. But if he's allowed to make an opinion piece, I'm sure as hell going to respond to it and take a lot of the constructive criticism and roll and improve, but also point out how some of the things he's saying are completely stupid and brain dead.
One of the biggest examples of about 300 separate examples.
300
and that was
separate.
kind of all just like a personal thing about how I think that the internet should be handled, how I think the internet should.
Right. This whole video is about how he thinks the internet should be handled. It's just weird to me that this is worth a video for him just solely based off of how he thinks the show that I'm on, that he decided to leave and never say anything about when he was in a group text with all of us, could have more often, like a billion opportunities to say, hey, dude, I think this show fucking sucks. Here's how you could make it better. It's just a little weird to me that here we are now, a year down the road, watching a 15-minute video about all of this. That's just a little weird to me. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say that it doesn't piss me off. Of course it does. Hey, Hiller's dead to me after this. After this video, dead to me. I unsubscribed, not going to watch his videos unless it's another video about me crashing out. I'll probably watch it and have to learn from it and will. But otherwise, dude, I surround myself with people that I can depend on, that I feel like I can reach out to when I'm in need. And he says at the end of the video, he says, I'm a great guy. I'd give you the shirt off my back. He even says I would steal the shirt from someone else. No, I would create a shirt from nothing and then give it to my friend before I took it from someone else. And that's who I want around me. Hiller's not wearing a shirt here, but I bet if he owned $1 million, he'd never give me one.
Be handled, my opinion. And we're going to move away from opinions now. Back to the numbers. Back to the things that you can point at. We already mentioned the lack of consistency. It isn't every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. The show gets quite a bit of promotion from the week leading up to it from every other week. It's just that every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Saturdays live at 8 a.m.
And when it isn't every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., it gets confusing.
Hey, I don't care if you're confused. When I'm sick, I'm not going to do it. When I'm traveling to events and coaching, I'm not going to do it and I'll reschedule. And when my wife's in the fucking hospital and we changed the format because my baby died, I'm not going to do it.
I have screen grabs of this, but I can tell you for sure that the live viewership used to be 500, maybe even 600 consecutive live viewers when it was more consistent at that time. Modern day, you're going to see it start at like the 200.
Here's what I think. I don't think the drop off in views has anything to do with the consistency. I think some of the drop off in views has to do with Butthole Gate and things where people deem the crashing out is so obscene. I just don't want to watch it anymore. I think almost all of the drop off in views has come from the polish and the shine and the, oh, it's a shiny new piece of silver that the monkey wants to play with, because I'm not going to get the money that high because I'm not that fit. There's only so many movements I can do and beat most of the people I think that are going to call in. And when people see that for 82 weeks, it gets boring. My ego's not too big to say that. Of course, I'm not the fittest on earth. I couldn't make the games. That's, to me, I think more than anything, listen, if I were Matt Fraser and I acted exactly the way I acted now, I bet the views would be insane. Obviously, he's the fittest man on earth, right? He can beat anyone at anything. And if someone beat him, it would go crazy. his ego's too big for that. He wouldn't be able to handle getting beat on the internet. So he would never do the show, obviously. Actually, I think him and Rich tried. And I don't think it lasted more than like 3 or 4 episodes because he probably couldn't handle it. Another great example of this is like, we're losing viewers or we lost viewers. Because of what? Because I'm not good enough to do a different workout. Okay. I don't care. Because I say a swear word. Okay. I don't care. Hey, Rich shot a bear and posted a picture of it. Instantaneously lost $150,000. I think it affected him a little because like, damn, this is how impressionable this is. Like, this is the audience. Maybe not that he's curated, but hey, good riddance to those people. And I'll say this. If you don't like me swearing or just me as a person, I do not care. I don't care. My aim in life is not to be liked by everyone. It's not to please everyone. I could give a shit less. Holy fuck. I don't know how many different ways I have to say that. I think this video swear count is probably 1 every minute, not 1 every 20 seconds. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm improving. I just have no interest in my North Star being getting as many people to watch me as possible. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't blame it on Brian Friend, Jeremy. I actually don't blame it on Brian Friend at all. This was funny. I had a call with someone telling me, you never tried to reconcile things with Brian Friend. And I found that to be hilarious because I invited Brian Friend to live in Charlotte and get a job here coaching at CrossFit Charlotte. I gave him a job working for the Charlotte Classic where he made several $1,000s more than he deserved because he didn't do a freaking thing. I made him a part of programming the Desert City Classic in its first year with JR and paid him 1/3 of the money to write a heat sheet. And then I paid him to review notes for Sentinel when I had like 150 subscribers. I was paying him $500 a month. And here's the deal. When he started having this falling out, I met with him for coffee several times. I was like, hey, dude, this is what's happening. This is how people see it. This is what I think. If you did this, it would change. And everything that not that he owed me to listen to my advice, but every piece of advice I gave him on what I think would make the situation better, he did the exact opposite. And it made the situation, oh, what do you know? Way worse. So it has nothing to do with Brian Friend because one of the people who hated Brian Friend more than anyone was this guy. And every time he made a video about Brian Friend, it was Brian Friend saying, hey, Andrew, you would have gotten this right if you would have just called me on the phone. I'm not so egotistical that I think Andy owes me that at all. But I think, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't know what to do anymore. And this is what he wants to make videos on. I'm cool with it.
It's going to creep up over 300, and on certain shows, it might crest and hang out around the 350 range. So it's about 150 to 200 less in average.
There's my algorithm.
Viewership. I think that the main player in that role is the lack of consistency.
That's my algorithm. This is what I would rather watch.
You have it on a Thursday.
I would rather watch
Nate on Saturday
Friedman.
for a couple weeks.
Sorry, Eller, I'm not watching your shit.
Documented time.
Saturdays live at 8 a.m.
And it just makes me think about the viewer. It's always about the viewer.
It's always about the viewer. For Hiller, it is always about the viewer. Always about the viewer. Always about the viewer at the expense of his friends, at the expense of the truth, at the expense of doing what's right, at the expense of any sort of objective morality, at the expense of your own soul. It's always about the viewer. The viewer. The viewer. The viewer. He sounds like Leonardo DiCaprio at the end of freaking the Airplane movie. I don't even remember what it's called. Howard Frick. Somebody tell me in the comments. Can somebody tell me in the comments what that movie is? Frick. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's peeing in glass jars. The future. The future. The future. The viewer. The viewer. The viewer. The viewer. The viewer. I don't care about the viewer when my wife's in the hospital. I don't give a fuck about the viewer when I'm sick. I don't care about the viewer when an athlete I put my heart and soul into programming for and who works their freaking tail off every single day is competing at a semifinal and I have an obligation to coach them. The Aviator, that's it, Kenneth DeLapp. Goodness gracious. Hey, that guy did build some crazy airplanes and Hiller's made some massive airplanes of videos. So we're just different. We're different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. I don't even have hair. That song applies so perfectly right now.
a video for the internet for the viewer. I don't know much about
The viewer. Guys, did you hear that? Do you get it yet?
sponsors. I don't know what they look for, but I do know that it's like a $500 sponsor every week. I can imagine if you just randomly skip a week and you've got a sponsor on board, that it's going to be like kind of like, oh, where is my show? Another thing to point out is the season 2 revamp. It's what we started this thing out with.
The season 2 revamp. The season 2 revamp was, we were contemplating me going after, and I decided, hey, let's start with the subtle change. We've done this for a year. People seem to kind of like it. So to make it easier on callers, let's announce the workout 24 hours ahead of time, which to me was a huge change. Oh, they're not getting the workout 30 minutes ahead of time when no one's going to be able to go into a gym and do the workout. I think that a full day, giving everyone a chance to see and plan, would increase the call-ins. So that was my aim with that. And that was the change for season 2. Hiller said there was absolutely no change. That's clearly not true at all. A lot of you may think that change was super insignificant. I didn't, especially when it's my freaking ego and pants on the line every single week of getting the brakes beaten off of me. So wrong. There was a change. It wasn't enough for you, and that's fine, but there was a change and you were incorrect.
For those of you who paid very close attention, it was 52 weeks. The show was actually rather consistent for those first 52 weeks.
No, the show actually had the same amount of inconsistency in those 52 weeks outside of a freaking medical emergency, dude, that you make this whole video and you say that you spent more time thinking about this video than the rest of us have spent in the past 50 Kill Taylors combined. And you don't think to even consider, oh man, I wonder why they changed the format. Couldn't have been that the literal morning I called out, there was actually a very important reason for that. And this is where people are like, can't you just be friends? No, I can't just be friends. When he basically puts out a video that I'm taking as a hit piece, but also taking a lot of constructive feedback and criticism from, when that just happened to me and my family. Fuck him.
Was that kind of fleeting episode that was on the Thursday or on the Monday. But for the most part, it was every Saturday, give or take an hour at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. And then there was the gap, kind of like all TV shows and all seasons have a gap for nothing.
Oh, nothing. He said nothing. How was it different?
And there was this huge promise about a revamp. You think? Everyone wanted to know what it was. Nothing. Season 2.
Nothing. No, it actually was something. So that's factually incorrect, just like most of your videos. Almost baseless in facts. Your best videos, the no rep videos, are based a lot in fact. Mostly in fact, I'll say. Some of the videos with the red line, it's like, I don't think you understand like perspective and imagery because like the angle of this makes the red line not make sense at all. But generally speaking, I love the no rep videos. Also, I think the steroid videos are great and provocative. They get a lot of clicks, but again, they're not based in fact. It's just he thinks you did steroids because you look like it. And this is going to get clicks because when you hear CrossFit and steroids, you confirm what all these outside people believe about CrossFit. Essentially, for them, you're validating their beliefs and confirming that to be true, which to me, if your North Star is views, or I'll even stretch out on a limb a little bit and say your North Star is views to increase participation in CrossFit, maybe. I don't think confirming for everyone on the outside watching your videos that all we do is do steroids helps that. I don't think. But I could be wrong.
2 rolls around and there's no revamp. Why not? Nothing. And
Why not? Nothing. There was something, and you missed that because you actually didn't think about this video harder than all of us have thought about Kill Taylor for the past 50 episodes combined. You didn't do that. You did not think harder than us. You got so many things wrong. You got a couple things really right. You got some things so right. If you base the entire video on, hey, I don't know why you guys changed the format, but people hate it. So if you want the show to do better, just change that. Also, crashing out in the vulgarity. I'm not going to swear. I'm not telling you not to swear, but maybe Butthole Gate and the crash outs, you should fix that. Dude, the video, I think, honestly, it probably would have been a lot worse. Probably way less people would have watched it, but at least it would have been entirely correct. I would not have taken any offense to it. Not that you care at all. And all of it would have been actual, factual, constructive criticism and feedback. I don't think that's obviously your goal for the video. I think everyone wants to believe that you're purely objective and you base it all in facts, and all that you want out of this is for Kill Taylor to succeed. I actually think you would love it if Kill Taylor failed, and my ego's way too big to allow that to happen, and I don't even care if everyone gives you all the credit for it changing and doing better. At worst, people are going to give you all the credit for it changing and us trying to make a change and still failing. But I don't care. I'm going to do my best. And in ways that we can make a change and I think are worth making a change, we 100% will.
Different about season 2. The intro at the beginning of it was gone.
The intro was gone. The intro was gone. Well, you know what?
Our first victim is gone. Taylor Self is here. The next victim is waiting in the wings.
This. It's blind, relentless, constant pursuit of excellence. That's what it is.
We're going to bring that back. We're going to bring that back. I'm not going to allow anyone to say we are bringing that back. It's coming back. That piece of feedback I think was great. The format needed to be changed. Perfect feedback. We're going to change it. It's either going to be the new 90-minute format that I discussed, or it'll be the same format. It's just I'll work out every single week. And this is what historically would cause a crash out. Sandy saying, doubling down is what we expected. Case closed. Nothing further. Completely missing the entire point where I'm saying, hey, there's actually 3. I would say those are 3 huge pieces of feedback that I'm taking. The timeout button. Changing the format. You guys are going to love that. I know, I'm done even talking about that. Changing the format. You're going to love it. I'm bringing the intro music back. We're going to do that. I do love Pool Boy. We're not getting rid of Pool Boy. We're just going to play the music first. Then Sevon's going to say, welcome to the show. Greatest show on the internet. Fittest man on the internet. Taylor hates hearing those 2 things. And that's probably the real reason he made this video. And here's Pool Boy's introduction.
Objective thing you can point at. There is no do.
This one.
Case is literally not closed. I'm bringing it back. I love this. I love that song. And you know what? When I heard you guys say like, damn, I missed the song. I was like, why? Like, it's no sweat on our back to bring the song back. Of course we'll bring the song back. What the fuck? What the hell? Of course we'll do that.
Bam, we're live.
You hear great.
And you know what? I shouldn't have shown my butthole. You'll never see that again, most of you. There might be 1 or 2 of you watching that will probably see it again. One's in the next room over, okay? And I love her a lot. She's going to see that thing for the rest of her life. Might be 1 or 2 more of you that'll see it on occasion. You're men for sure. But the rest of you won't ever see it again. Butthole Gate was a once-in-a-lifetime conspiracy. It was a once-in-a-lifetime mistake of colossal consequence, and I apologize. I do apologize. And I think ultimately it's impossible for me to make any sort of video or show that's completely objective and unbiased, especially when I would say 33% of, maybe not quite, maybe 28% of this constructive feedback is how the format was stupid. And I thought it was some light bulb and some great idea. And you entirely missed the context that I was driving my wife to a hospital where we gave birth to a dead fucking baby. And 2 days later, I buried him. So yeah, it's impossible for me to be impartial to that. And if that's what you expect as a viewer, the viewer, I don't give a fuck. Don't watch the show.
Glassman in the background, something about the blind something or another.
Blind.
Bringing it back.
It
Anyways,
kind of signified that the show was going down. There were no more clips. And by clips, I mean short 1 minute things they all spent their workout with a pegboard climb or a burpee box.
oh, here's great. He says, oh, in this part of the video, oh, this is awesome. Hey, this is where he's getting into the numbers, guys. He's getting into the numbers, the facts, getting into the numbers and the facts of the show. And this is the deal. Hey, dude, this is perfect. What would be a crash moment is he goes, hey, dude, stop using the miscarriage as leverage. First off, it wasn't a miscarriage. We had a stillbirth. My wife gave birth. Second off, I'm not using it as leverage. You had someone who was, I considered an extremely close friend who knew exactly what had happened and who should, I guess, maybe not should have, but could have very easily known that that was the reason the format changed. He could have known all these things. He was in our group thread where we talked about it, and maybe he missed it. Maybe he missed it amidst all of the Somalian fraud talk that I was submitting in there, and that's fair. But he didn't mention it. Yeah, he never brought it up because he didn't know, or he thought it wasn't important. And that's the point, Orange Juice. Did he think it wasn't important? Of course it's important. I don't want to fucking work out you were. In November, you were, dude. You were in the group chat, November 28th, in the locker room, which is where I sent it. That's a lie. Were you not in the locker room? Seriously? That's crazy. You were in the group chat where I said, hey guys, my son died. I mean, and to not be able to put 2 and 2 together if you weren't in the Kill Taylor group chat and you didn't see that that's why I didn't come on the show. Again, it's really not hard to connect the dots here. And the important bit of context is this was someone who I considered a friend, who I considered I was super close with, and that is all just completely missing. And it wouldn't be, again, I guess I wouldn't see it as airing out my business, because if I were on the other end of this, I'd be like, man, he changed the format of his YouTube channel because him and Alexis lost a child. I'm not going to make a video about why it sucks now because the format changed, because he changed the format to keep doing it because of what happened. Like that, I think that is so important. And Orange Juice, for you, go fuck yourself. And that's a part of the show that will never leave. Not a crash out at all. I didn't even say anything about wieners. So get over it.
Single workout seemed to now be a double under workout with a pegboard climb.
Every single workout seemed to be a double under workout with a pegboard climb. We're getting into the numbers here. Every single workout out of 82 workouts. And don't forget, at the beginning of the video, at the very beginning of the video, several comments: bring the dumbbell back, make dumbbells great again. People wanting more dumbbell. In 82 episodes, I've programmed a dumbbell 17 times. In 82 episodes, I've programmed a pegboard 6 times. One time, Rich programmed them at his barn. I've programmed regular double unders 4 times. I programmed drag rope double under 7 times, 4 of which I was traveling and had no access to other equipment. Semifinals, Italy, at Biomax Peptides Clinic, and at Affiliate Con. The only other time double unders were programmed was heavy rope double unders by JR at Syndicate Crown when I did that event. And then I programmed running crossover single unders. So, also, I've done burpee box jump overs one time. But I guess as a programmer, he doesn't make a distinction between 48-inch burpee box get overs and burpee box jump overs. I have programmed burpee box get overs multiple times. I programmed burpee bar muscle ups, burpee ring muscle ups, and burpee pull ups a few times. But he didn't say that. He said burpee box jump overs or jumps. I've never done burpee box jumps. I have done burpee box jump overs. And I think this is the part of the video where it's really convenient to get into the numbers, especially when you just make them up or actually don't give any numbers. There were no numbers there, but those are the real numbers. There you go. And that's the part where you thought harder about this video than we've thought about the past 50 Kill Taylors combined. Yeah, that's offensive. Are you kidding me? Especially when you don't even have fucking facts.
Or a burpee box jump or a dumbbell snatch. That's probably a bad point.
No, here's the thing. I don't want Hiller to speak up or to have a dialogue with me. I'm never going to talk to him again after this, and that's fine. I don't hate the guy. I promise you I do not. But what is happening here emotionally, so you guys can see back behind the scenes, is I thought he was a really close friend. He turned out not to be. And that's my fault. I own every bit of that. He made a video of me with a lot of things that are incorrect. And here I am addressing them. You can attach whatever projections and personal things you want to onto that. But what's happening here is I'm not going to worry about him anymore. He can make another video, whatever. I took this as kind of, hey, a friend wouldn't do that to me. And I was pretty surprised, but I shouldn't have expected anything less. He is who he is. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm a human being. Of course, I'm not going to watch this video like a robot. Beep, boop, bop, must, please, viewer. That's not who I am. So I don't know. The video was the cause of this video. I'm not sure what your question here. This video was the cause. This video was the cause. Hiller's video here is the cause of this current video. No idea what's the cause of anything else. No, it's clear you didn't put more thought into the video because you don't have any of the numbers correct, or at least you didn't bring these programming numbers to the video. You also left out a piece of completely vital context. Yeah, you definitely didn't put more thought into this video than I have the past 50 Kill Taylors combined. 100% not. It's not even close. Cry harder, crash out. Maybe you need a crash out button from here on out.
To make, but it's a point to make. Like, Taylor's creating workouts so that he can win. We all get it. It's his rules. But again, Game of Thrones, dragons, every single.
And this part of the video, I 1000% agree with. Like, hey, at this point, what you're probably going to see as a viewer are dragons eating goats. And that's going to come in the form of dumbbells, sandbags, hanging from a rig. JR says I should never not hang. So I've been trying to hang a little more, hang out with my buds, hang out on the bar, hang out on a pegboard, hang out on a rope, hang out on the rings. The ring muscle up scared me in my barn. That's why I ordered those 12-foot uprights. So I'll be able to do those in the barn again soon. And I'll get better on the short straps and those will show up. But yeah, you're going to see double unders. You're going to see dumbbells. You're going to see burpees. When I'm feeling fit, you're going to see. So 100% agree with this. The dragon's going to eat the goat. That's what you're going to get. I'm unable to do anything else to a much higher degree than that. Wall walks, pretty good at wall walks. So you'll see those things, and that's good. And I don't know that it's feedback. I think it's like a matter of fact. It's like a statement of fact that, of course, the people are going to get bored of that, and that's fine. I think maybe at some point we'll figure out maybe something different to remedy that, like a new athlete. I don't know. If there's a new athlete that wants to do a Kill X series, hit me up. Maybe put yourself in the comments. If you have a suggestion, put it in the comments. I think we're open to anything.
Episode they're dragging.
Except I'm not open to never swearing again. That's not going to happen. So just watch a different show. And I'm not going to be more consistent than I already have been.
Eating a goat. We get it. The dragon eats goats. Show something different. You don't want.
No, I'm not going to do something different because I have to want to do it. I've got to want to do it. That would be 2 or 3 shots, I would say. Sean Lenderman, 2 or 3 shots you've taken now. You're probably a heavyweight, so that doesn't do anything. If I were to take 2 or 3 right now, I'd be absolutely blackout. I'd be white girl wasted. And I'm not going to do something different because I don't want to do something different. And this does confirm what Standy just said is, okay, dig your heels in. There's only so many things I can beat people at. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for falling short for you, the viewer.
Okay, we'll stop watching. We're tired of watching the dragon eat a goat. But we're talking about the revamp, season 2. There was a week where Taylor couldn't be on the show, and then James Sprague did the workout, and Taylor tried to defend the money on the consecutive week, the following week. And it was like a light bulb had gone off in the.
It was like a light bulb had gone off because I couldn't be on the show, and I went and did the workout the next week, and a light bulb went off.
Creator's eyes. I'm not sure if it was Taylor.
A light bulb went off in the creator's eyes. I'm not sure if it was Taylor. I'm not sure if it was someone else, but that light bulb went off, or at least it was like a light bulb went off. It had nothing to do with, wow, this is way fucking easier for me right now, and I can wrap my head around doing it every other week.
If it was Sevan, if it was Souza, or if it was Peter.
I don't care what any of you in the comments think, and I don't really care what Hiller thinks, but if it were me sitting in the position he's sitting in right now and someone else in the position I am, I would feel, as the person sitting in that position, absolutely fucking stupid for this part of the video, not the rest of the video, just this part. I'd feel so fucking dumb.
Whoever was on the show thought this is the new way.
No! This is the new way. Oh, this is the way. It's for the viewer. It's all for the viewer. The viewer. The viewer. The viewer. The viewer.
Oh God, please no.
It's not the way. It hasn't been the way. It'll never.
Hey, and right, this is all you had to say. It's not the way. Good, I got it. It's probably been long enough. I can probably work out every week again. So we're gonna talk about making a change in the format. And for those of you who that's all you wanted, you're gonna get that. For those of you who wanted that, and for me to stop swearing, and for there to be consistency, and for heavy squat, clean and jerks, and single leg squats, you're not getting any of that shit. So sorry.
Be the way. Most recently, Ariel alone did the workout, and then Taylor beat her.
Oh, and here we go. This is where he gets into, they swear once every 20 seconds on the show, but when someone like Ariel comes on, there's no swearing. When they're at Wodapalooza, Brent comes on the show and there's no swearing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm respectful of someone else when they come on the podcast physically. Just like I'm sorry for being respectful when I'm at dinner with my wife's family and I don't swear that way. I guess darn, dude. Darn it. I guess I have to swear. I guess I have to swear at Christmas dinner because I did it on Kill Taylor. Shucks. Oh, doggone it. Dang, shucks. Shucks. I guess I have to swear everywhere I go now because I swear around 4 of my best friends and you guys want to watch me do it. Darn it. You got me. Gotcha. Sheesh.
Afterwards, the following week, the later week, Victor Hoffer went for $6,000, put up an unbeatable time that Taylor could not beat. That's going to be the pinnacle. That's the highest and the best it's going to be. The show with Victor and Justin got 13,000 views. The defending show got 8,000 views. If we want to bring it way back to the beginning about that color-coded chart, the Victor-Justin thing was like a resurgence. And if Taylor had done the workout on the same day, say at the back end of the workout, you see Justin do it and fail and quit. After he already saw...
I agree. That would have been way better. And that's the feedback we're going to take and make it change. 100%. Going to make that change. And that's feedback we'll take. So. Heard,
Victor
brother.
Hoffer do it. First time seeing Justin on the show in a long time. The dude's got LASIK. The dude's going to the WFP. All of this stuff. There's a great story, a great narrative to it. And then you see Taylor do it on the same show. That would have been like absolute cinema. It would have been the blue button. But everyone's got to wait. Everyone's got to wait a week. And
oh, darn. You guys, the viewer has to wait. Darn.
Waiting didn't work, and the numbers show that. It went from 13,000 with the athletes to 8,000 without the athletes, just Taylor. And that's as good of a storyline as you're ever going to get, and that's what you're going to get from it from a viewership perspective.
That's what you used to get from it from a viewership perspective, because after this week, when I finish out the format as it has been for the past 3 months, we will change the format, and you'll get something different, something new. Something new. Actually, someone had a great suggestion. Seth Page had this suggestion. He said, hey, why don't you think about doing a season every quarter? You go 8 weeks on, every 4 months, 8 weeks off. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So let me know between that. So say we do that format and we go back to the way things always were, where I do the workout first, anyone can call in and beat it. That 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off, 4 times a year. Or 90-minute window, first 45 minutes, everyone else goes. Last 45 minutes, I warm up, then I go. Or I do the workout from the previous week where everyone tried to set a time to beat and I beat it. Then people do the workout for the following week. I feel like I like that one the least because it seems to me like that's what people hate the most is that I can practice the workout for a week, because when I do that, I do the workout every single day because, of course, I have to win. So... I don't mind that format. I think what none of you are at least Hiller doesn't, I can't even conceptualize this, is putting yourself out there every single weekend. I'm not like, oh, pity party about me, but yeah, it's exhausting. And sometimes I want a break. And for the first year, I didn't make a break. I mean, you should have heard the conversation I had with Lizzie. I was like, hey, I'm going to do this for a year. When we started it, I told Seven, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it to a year. I'm going to commit to a year. And she was like, no, you're not. What the hell? What about when we travel? What about when we go to Italy? I was like, well, I'm bringing a drag rope. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't, I don't even know if there's a TV show, like a definitely not a post-produced TV show in existence that is every single week for a year. But Kill Tony's a good, I think they go every single week
Two more
for a
things
long time.
you might be thinking,
But all they do is get shit-faced and say bad words, which is easy to do. And that's why I like it. Not the shit-faced part, but the bad words part. It makes it easy because I could just be myself totally. They do it every week. So maybe if we change the show format to me just getting absolutely blasted and saying swear words the whole time, we would be as big as Kill Tony, which is a fucking enormous podcast. And I would be so consistent. I could do it every week. I could tell you this. If I did start drinking again, I could be pretty fucking consistent doing that.
who cares about views other than the fact that it's a literal statistic that you can look at, seeing the regression of
It's a literal statistic. It's a statistic that matters somewhat to me, but is not my North Star. And to the extent that you care about it, I couldn't give a fuck.
Kill Taylor show since the beginning. I like to make it all cool and colorful with the ideas of the chart. Taylor cares. He said so on Glitten Things.
Oh,
We definitely have our eyes on ways to change things to continue to make it grow. I feel like we've been a bit stagnant for the past like 6 to 8 months, around like 8.
he just said that I cared about views the way he does. And you're listening to me here. Not once did I mention views.
to 12,000 views has been pretty much like the average, I would say. And there were some earlier ones that were like up to 20. And of course, when the money gets big, like it helps things, but I'm only so good. And I definitely am trying to get better and to continue to get fitter. But I'm not necessarily convinced that me winning every week and the prize spot getting bigger and bigger and bigger is what's going to drive views.
Yeah. And what I meant there was there's only so many times you can watch a dragon eat a goat. It's almost like I said that before Hiller made the video. Yeah. There's only so many times you can watch a dragon eat a goat. So I don't even think if the money's that high and it's just me doing sandbag cleans and wall walks again, that people are going to watch it. But all I care about are views. Oh, shucks. Yeah, I forgot. I needed Hiller to remind me. That's all I cared about.
I think engagement, one, will help drive views. And obviously, when there's more money, you'll get more engagement. But so there's a lot of different things we're thinking of.
I want to know how to do better, get more views on the.
I didn't say I want to know how to get more views. I did not say those words. You said those words. You heard what I said, and that's what it meant to you. So here you are making your video. Those words did not come out of my mouth. Just like you were not there for the Coach L interaction. Just like you didn't have the numbers on the times I've programmed double unders in a dumbbell. Just like all of the other facts that you've so conveniently omitted from the freaking video because you spent so much time thinking about it that it dwarfed the previous 50 Kill Taylor episodes, all of us thinking about them combined. Sheesh. That would make me feel pretty stupid too.
Taylor show. This is a whole video for that. This is how you get more.
And here's the reality. This podcast will get a freaking fraction of the Hiller video, and I do not care. Mostly it is for my own benefit to give a bit of a rebuttal to what I felt like was a rock hard ass pounding for sure. A lot of it warranted, some of it not. And for the warranted parts, I take full accountability. I mean, this is like listening to lesbians fight over the smallest dildo. I've never listened to that. If this is what that sounds like, that's crazy.
Views.
Dude, the best is when you think you're gonna get beat, and your reaction to you watching the person.
All right, so that's what they found was favorite for them, and that's removed from the current format. And I am totally open to going back to that format where I go first and anyone can go after. It's honestly one of the least stressful ways. Going after can be more stressful, because I don't have I have to beat this time. I know what it is. So maybe we just go back to that and we do 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off.
That you think you're gonna get beat by, like that. Your reaction to that when you like scream.
The problem with that format is the money will never be super high. I do have a dildo. Sevon bought it for me and sent it to me. I do have a dildo. Actually, I don't have it anymore. I left it in California. I don't even have one. What am I going to do? I don't even have one anymore. How am I going to do the Coach L workout? Shit. Shucks. I guess I'm going to have to wait for Bryson to come over to program tomorrow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like
2 weeks ago.
Or I'm going to have to wait for Mayhem Classic this year and I see him again. Hey, Coach L, remember that workout?
I
probably need to film that too. I probably need to film that and post it so that everybody knows that it happened and that I acted the way that Hiller wanted me to act. I can't forget that.
Said it right there.
For not Hiller, the viewer.
But I didn't say it. Adam Fullerton said it. Change the format to the first 40 minutes of people.
This is a great idea. Adam Fullerton, first 45 minutes. We'll just make it an even 90 minutes. 45 minutes they go. 45 minutes I warm up for like 15 to 20, which will be so freaking stressful for me. And then I'll try to beat it. And then if I win, I talk about it. If I lose, I sulk like a baby. I'm open to that. And I mean that when I say put in the comments. Maybe we'll put a poll out on the Instagram or something. That's an option. Go back to the original format, 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off, or the every other week I go, but every week someone's working out other than just me. I'm open to all those formats. Yeah, I'm open. I'm open to that. Good idea, Adam.
People doing the workout and setting a time to beat. Then Taylor does the workout.
That's a very valuable 2 cents. I would pay more than 2 cents for that feedback. So thank you. And thank you, Hiller, for making the video and putting this in it. Because I probably would not have seen it had I not. Because I don't only just care about the viewer and YouTube. I don't care. I don't go in and read the comments every week. Maybe I should. I'm not going to.
Last, he gets to see the strategy and use it as seen fit. It gives him the edge while also keeping things interesting every show. Just my 2 cents. That's what I just said in different words from Adam Fuller.
Oh, it's what he just said. Hiller had the idea first, Adam. It's what he just said. Don't you know? It's what he just said.
It's got 25 likes on it. So that's thing number 1 to do better. The swearing. Talked about it a little bit.
I'm not going to stop swearing. Cry me a river.
Talk more about it. Over the course of the past 7 episodes, 6 episodes have had over 1 swear per minute. 5 weeks ago, there were 204 swears in 70 minutes, which is nearly 3 swears.
I will swear less than that, but I'm not going to stop swearing. I'm not going to stop cussing. Holy shit. I hate saying swearing. I just hit the crash out button on myself. I didn't even need Sousa to hit it. That's crazy. And that's the power of this video. And that's when I said at the beginning, hey, this will be the best thing that could have happened to kill Taylor. I just hit the crash out button on my stomach. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh my gosh. That was funny. That made me laugh.
Per minute. I'll swear every 20.
I don't know if a lot of you picked up on where I was about to go there, but it wasn't appropriate for this show or this channel. So I'm glad I hit the crash out button on myself.
20 seconds. Oh my God. We'll go back to my suit.
Oh my God. The viewer, what are they going to do? What is the viewer going to do? I don't know. What does the viewer do when they watch South Park and they talk about Hillary Clinton's pussy and they inject a rat into it? Well, if the viewer's me, I'm going to watch the episode and laugh. But I don't know what all the other viewers are going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. And I don't fucking care.
Example, someone clicks on, all it takes 20 seconds.
Oh, no, there was a swear every 20. He said shit. They said shit 3 times a minute. Doggone it. I'll get better. That piece of feedback is my least favorite, is just the cussing. The vulgar crash outs for sure will be reduced. I don't know how many different times I can say it. I don't know. The swearing, I feel like the swearing... Gosh, the cussing. I feel like the cussing, it honestly doesn't bother me at all, but maybe I should go back and watch that episode and see if it bothers me. And if it does, I'll definitely cuss a lot less.
For them to hear somebody to turn it off if they got kids in the room. And this is
darn, you got kids in the room. Hey, honey, hey, we're not going to be able to watch this R-rated movie because the kids are in the room right now. Gone. Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah, you don't get to watch R-rated stuff when your children are in the room. That's what the show is. If you don't like all of the swear words because you can't watch with your kids in your room, you've never watched an R-rated movie. You're going to go watch Cold Mountain with your kids in the room. Actually, hey, I watched that movie as a kid with an adult. Probably shouldn't have. There were some crazy titties flopping around in that movie. Not just big busty naturals, but some big old fat bitch titties too, going crazy. Civil War sex scene, wild. Shouldn't watch that with your kids in the room, and you shouldn't watch Kill Taylor. I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. But maybe don't. Maybe don't. Hey, this is a great comment. Dude, Taylor, you should review all of Hiller's videos from here on out. This is getting crazy views. Hey, that's an idea. I might do it. I might take you up on that. Hey, maybe instead of Kill Taylor, maybe we title it Kill Hiller. Maybe we title it Kill Hiller, and I don't ever work out again for you guys ever, but instead I just give these crash out reviews of how stupid the crap that Andy is saying is. That might get crazy views. And come to think of it, it's been a little bit lopsided for a really long time here. Hiller has free reign to talk trash and to absolutely assassinate anyone he wants in CrossFit with literally zero resistance, zero opposition, zero ops. I'm the fucking ops now, dude. I'm the ops, maybe. Maybe I am the captain now. That was probably too political. Probably shouldn't have gone there. Probably shouldn't have quoted Captain Phillips. But I'm feeling like the ops, and this is a good idea. Don't know if I have the energy or the desire to do it. This is the only video I've cared about Hiller making in a long time. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is kind of I'm a little excited here. For the viewer, I might do it. I might do it for the viewer.
Completely avoiding the idea that it's just butthole gaping talk for the remainder of every
butthole gaping talk and visual, to be fair. So, dang, my holy balls are empty. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Go over to holyballs.com. Use code SEVON15 for 50% off. Sorry, SEVON15 for 15% off. And if you do a wholesale for affiliates, 50% off. This is the chorrito flavor. I'm on Duolingo right now, brushing up on my Spanish. Sentinel en Español is a new track re-released. This is probably my favorite flavor. It's definitely Lizzie's favorite flavor. Darn, I fucked up. I did need a drink to go with it. I needed some milk to go with it. My blood orange tangerine sparkling water is fresh out. Let's continue. But you guys better go buy some of those. If you do one thing for me, you stop watching Kill Taylor forever. If you do one thing for me in this episode, go buy a bunch of Holy Balls, please. They're so freaking good.
other episode, or showing actual buttholes.
I shouldn't have done that. I'm never going to do that again. I'm sorry.
One
And I'm not joking. I am sorry. I will never do that again. I should not have done that. As soon as I did it, I was so embarrassed and ashamed. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that.
So that by itself is absolutely insane. To be honest, I'm not sure how you can go on and on and on, talk about Danny Spiegel and how she presents and then show your actual butthole on the internet.
That's good. But when I talk about Danny Spiegel, most of the time it's in reference to her complaining about people discussing her bodies when she shows it naked. I literally do not care at all if anyone talks about my butthole. I showed it. I don't care. I don't care if anyone talks about my body. I honestly don't care. And here's an important comment. This is great. Look, the over-the-top cussing is a little too much for me. It might be fine for others, but cussing is done best if dropped occasionally, and then the words have meaning. Here's the deal. I don't want my swear words to really have that much meaning. I don't think, at least I don't want words that I wield over other people to be weapons of mass destruction. I like swear words because I think they're funny and they have some shock factor, and maybe they lose that when I say them a lot, but I don't care. I don't need my swear words or my cuss words to have meaning. And also, this is just key case in point here, a matter of opinion. A matter of opinion that differs from viewer to viewer. That's all that is. And yeah, a lot of viewers have decided they don't like the show anymore. They're not going to watch. That's cool with me. They are not my North Star.
I want to finish up my thing on the swears. I mentioned it was a swear per minute or even a swear. See if Taylor would beat the workout. 7 swears and 33 of in relation to Coach L. And I have another example of this. In a live episode in Miami, Wadapalooza, Tears SoCal.
We already discussed this. Here's where he talks about Brent coming on the show and I stopped swearing. Hey, it's just like when I'm in front of someone who I've never met before, I choose not to swear the way I do on the show. A lot of you are going to say, well, most of us on the show you've never met before. You would be wrong. The 4 other people on the show, I know as close as I could possibly know some people. And those are the people I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to all of you. And when you're watching the show, stop with the presupposition that is all about the viewer. Other people exist. We're going to make it a lot about the viewer. There's some feedback and some changes we're going to make to improve the experience for the viewer. But at the same time, I want to have fun. And there are a lot of people who do like that. There are a lot of people who still watch and enjoy it. So what about them, Andrew? Fuck them. I love The Boys, my favorite TV show. But man, so many people hate it and don't watch it. They're going to take out Super Penis Man. And I'm not going to get to see my favorite part of The Boys. Dang, I really love Jackass. But without Chris Pontius running around with his penis out, it's not fun to watch anymore. And because so many people don't like that, instead of just not watching it, they changed Jackass. And now I will never watch it again. What the fuck kind of logic is that? It is so beyond dumb. I just hit the crash out button again. It's like I malfunction when I do that. Wow. Susie, you're definitely going to have to hit that and kill Taylor because there's no way I can exercise as much self-control more than like once in my life.
Kowski went on. You guys might remember that thing was for $500. Taylor beat everybody. I think Katie Canyon was in there as well, but there were 18 swears in 105 minutes.
Whoa! Here's the numbers. These are the most important numbers to Hiller. Not how many times I did double unders or pegboards because everybody hated it and it seemed like it was every week, but the number of swear words. The entire basis of the video is the format sucked and he hates cussing. Cry me a freaking river, dude.
A swear every...
Don't watch. Oh, holy cow. Crazy con. Crazy. This is actually a wild concept. Don't watch. You don't even have kids and you don't want them. Don't watch. If you don't like cussing, it's not because your dogs are in the room watching, Hiller. Don't watch the show. Stop watching. You left the show because you didn't like it. Don't let the freaking door hit you on the way out, Buster. Don't watch. Don't watch. You don't like it. It's not what you want it to be. It's not pleasing you, the viewer. So just don't watch. IMO, bruh.
5 minutes and 50 seconds. The common theme between those...
Oh my God, 5 minutes and 50 seconds. You swear 37 times in 5 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm going to malfunction.
Those 2 episodes is that when they're in the same room as these people, whether it be a real...
Brent Fikowski's never been on Kill Taylor before. Actually, ever. So you have no proof of that. What was another example you gave? Ariel Lowen. Never once when I've been talking to Ariel Lowen, because I know that that's not how her and Dylan operate and live their life. So I don't speak to them that way. I don't understand why that makes me a bad person, or you think that's wrong. You think it's wrong that because Ariel and Dylan don't like swearing, or maybe I perceive them to not like swearing, so I choose to swear less around them. You think it's wrong for me to swear on Kill Taylor now. And now that just because I swear on Kill Taylor, oh, shucks, gosh darn it, I guess I'm going to have to say the most vulgar thing that I can possibly think of next time I see Ariel and Dylan. What?
What kind of logic is that? What kind of logic is that? Also, we were streaming at Wadapalooza. So I was also operating off the assumption that, hey, maybe Dylan and Wadapalooza don't want me to say all the crazy things I normally do. Hey, maybe they do. But I'm going to show some respect and not do that. It's just like when I'm in my house. If I want to take a shit with the door open and Lizzie's got to smell that, it's my fucking house. It's her house too, but she married me. Tough shit. My fucking house. I can shit with the door open. I can leave a floater in the toilet if I want to too, but I'm not going to go to Brent Fikowski's house, shit with the door open, ask him to come hand me a roll of toilet paper and forget to flush. That makes me a bad person. That makes me a bad person. Wow. That makes me bad. Wrong. Not making a steroid video about someone you've never met and have zero evidence for using steroids, but because I like to shit with the door open and drink coffee in my house, and I'm not going to do that in someone else's house or do it when they're at my house. Goodness gracious,
room
buddy.
or an internet room. The language is cleaned up. The thing that I really don't
Oh, the language is cleaned up when the situation dictates. That makes them bad.
like about this.
Oh, they could do it if they wanted to. Yeah, I don't want to do it when I'm fucking with my friends Sevon and Peter and Brad and Caleb and Souza. I don't want to. So I don't. But when Brent or Hattie or Justin, for example, comes on the podcast, and I've already had to apologize to him for saying something I wish I hadn't have said in the past, yeah, I'm going to clean it up. Sue me? Fucking sue me, dude.
With Taylor as the star is that you see Taylor at things like Syndicate Crown.
Oh, at things like Syndicate Crown, when he's not in his own house, he doesn't even shit with the door open at Syndicate Crown. He doesn't even shit in the urinal at Syndicate Crown.
Absolutely murdering when he's on the floor interviewing the athletes.
Oh, he's on the floor interviewing athletes, and he's not speaking the way he speaks on Kill Taylor? Why not?
Favorite CrossFit workout?
DT.
Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. Hey, great job. Have a good
Hey,
one.
I did get in trouble for wearing that hat, and not because it said make CrossFit great again, but because it was red and they were confusing me with the actual red hat. So I took the hat off, and here lies in the point. When I'm in someone else's home, I behave the way I think that they want me to behave, or the way they explicitly tell me to behave, which in this case was take the freaking red hat off. You're confusing people out there.
Thank you.
And then you see him on the internet murdering athletes.
Oh, God. He said the athletes sucked at this. He had said the athletes sucked at that. He said he would destroy Jason Hopper. He said he would beat the cheeks off Jason Hopper. Sorry. I consider myself close enough with Jason, and also I know how Jason grew up playing football in a locker room. So I know I can say that in a ring muscle up workout, maybe at one time I could have beat the walls off Jason. I probably couldn't now. He's the fittest on earth. Sorry for that. Gee whiz. Sorry. How many times do I have to say it?
The fact where it's like Kill Taylor and he's beating athletes with his fitness. He's beating them down with his words.
I'm beating them down with my words. I'm beating them down with my words. I'm beating them down with my words. Just like Hiller beat down Sporty Beth with his words. Just like Hiller beat down Tia Toomey with his words. Just like Hiller beat down Brooke Wells with his words. Just like Hiller beat down Danny Spiegel with his words. Just like Hiller beat down Chandler Smith with his words. Oh, but you didn't cuss, so it was okay. You didn't cuss? That's it. Okay. He didn't cuss, so he can make an athlete never want to do CrossFit again, and that's okay. But me saying I would beat the walls off J-Hop at muscle ups is not okay. Perfect content. Murdering the athletes, beating them down with my words. But that's how you get your views. What are you beating down with your words right now, Hiller? Ultimate hypocrisy. Really? Really? And herein lies the fucking massive difference. People think that cunt, cock, poop, shit, dookie, even butthole gate, even butthole gate, I'll go as far as to say butthole gate, that causes actual harm to people. Oh my God, it's actually harming me. He said the R word. No, that doesn't cause actual harm. It really doesn't. It hurts your feelings. I love Jackass. I do love Jackass. Oh, sorry, wrong comment. Jackass still has a lot of penis though. I like that. I do like that's what I prefer to watch. I like Taylor and Hiller, but that's some straight hypocrisy. Yeah, it's wild. Imagine calling me negative. You're negative. You're negative. You're negative. You beat the athletes down with your words. Boom, 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 boom. Meanwhile, when anyone calls you negative, you say that they're stupid for calling you negative. And there's like a massive cohort of people who absolutely hate your content and your opinions because they think that you're negative, and you call them stupid for that. But here you are constructing your entire argument brick by brick on top of thinking that I'm negative. If that's not some intellectual, like I'm crashing out, crash out button, abort. I mean, it's like you're completely incapable intellectually. I mean, goodness gracious. What? Ernie, I think you should go back and watch from the start. I know you're late. There's a lot of feedback I took really, really to heart and will change. And there are a lot of ways where, and I'll just explain this again for all the new viewers. When you consider someone a friend, which I did, and which is my fault, I own this entirely. When you consider someone a close friend and they leave without saying anything, both Kill Taylor and other instances, they don't give any of this feedback to me in person or a text or a phone call ever. And he said it himself in the video. All he cares about is the viewer. And if he cared about the viewer that much, I would have thought, especially considering to me we were friends, that he would have given me this feedback sooner. Instead, he makes a video full of some very strong points and full of a ton of absolutely fucking stupid points, dumb points. A hit piece video to get views. To pay his bills. It's a good video. It made me watch, and wow, I did. You know what? Actually, for like the first 8 hours, I was like, I'm not watching it. I told my friends that they're like, do you see the video? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just not gonna watch it. And then someone gave me like a synopsis, and I was like, fuck, I have to watch it. So in that sense, it's a good video. It did make me watch it. It's going to get more views than this one will. So I don't know. I guess touche, you know, you win. I concede. You're getting the views. You are pleasing the viewer here. But I would argue right now, I'm pleasing some viewers too. I'm pleasing almost 600 viewers right now, enough to be watching. Maybe I will do a Hiller video review whenever you post a video that I think is crazy stupid. That probably would be far more often than you would like it to be. I mean, this is just crazy. You didn't make that video because you cared about me doing better. And to frame it like you did is absolute bullshit, dude. We were fucking friends. You could have, dude, we were fucking friends. You could have just said all of this to me. And anyone in the comments who's acting like, oh man, you're such a pussy for getting worked up over it, Taylor. Okay, I'm a pussy. Yeah. I mean, I'm a pussy. We're friends. And this is why I'll never be friends with someone like this. That's where you're wrong, Taylor. He thinks that a friend would do exactly what Hiller's doing. You know what? I would fucking never do that to my best friend. I'm not saying Hiller and I were best friends, but I also don't really consider people friends that I would do this to. So in this instance, best and friend are interchangeable. If I'm friends with you, I'm not going to absolutely pull them trousers down. Okay, I'm going to hit the timeout button because I was going to get a little more vulgar than probably some of you would have liked. Let's finish it up.
Saying crazy, hellacious crap about me.
Crazy, hellacious crap. You had like a whole YouTube series shitting on a fat woke woman from Britain for saying things that you thought were stupid or you thought were, I'm sorry, negative or bad for the space. And I'm hellacious. I'm hellacious when you made it your life's work to essentially make Brooke Wells fucking hate CrossFit. I'm hellacious. Do you have any brain cells left? Where did they go? Where did they go? Marco. They must have left the chat. Brain cells left the chat.
Most of them, a lot of them, only to bump into them in person and be like, oh, hey, how are you? Nice.
Hey, next time we'll bump into Coach L, make sure that I talk about the 50 dick bounces workout. I'll say I'm going to ask him what he thinks the intended stimulus should be. How long should that workout even take? What are the range of motion standards? Is there a specific penis size that we should prescribe for women and men? What else? I mean, what else could we talk about in terms of 50 dick bounces for time? Good feedback there.
To see you.
Not sorry. I don't want to be that facetious. That's stupid feedback. Absolutely dumb. The format change, the crash out button, great feedback. The intro song, killer feedback. That feedback, brain dead. Brain cells were never even in the chat.
Person's suit and tie reaction to those individuals is Taylor covered in
Oh man, I'm covered in nuclear waste. Nuclear waste.
nuclear waste and all.
Oh, he sounds it like George W. Bush anyways. Oh my. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Did you just do that? Your brain cells were never in the chat. Nuclear waste. Nuclear waste. Oh my God. That's true, Sean. A friend would have come to me in person and had a man-to-man conversation like I did with Brian Friend, several times as things started to deteriorate between him and all of our other friends. Multiple times I sat him down and had coffee. And no, I'm not going to fucking call him CrossFit. I don't know him a fucking thing. This is not for him. It's for me. Fuck that. He didn't call me. So yeah, I 100% would have had a conversation man-to-man. And that's what I did with Brian Friend. And I got told that I didn't even try to reconcile things. Here's the thing. I don't care if those points get proven. I crash out. I'm too vulgar. I swear too much. I cuss. There are people that hate watching because of me. Okay. I know that. I don't care about that. I do have the personal confidence to know that the people closest to me, I make a huge impact on in a lot of positive ways. And with them, I still fuck up and get it wrong a lot. But I know that with them, I'm a good person. And I know that with the people who I interact with on a daily basis, I'm a good person and I do good things. So I don't care that if you watching me say the R word or anything else makes you think I'm a bad person or I'm proving people right. I don't care. I'm not a robot who cares just about the viewer. I am Taylor. This is who I am. And if you don't like it, don't watch Kill Taylor. I think that's probably all he needed to say. He could have created a wonderful hit piece that would not have hurt my feelings. It would have been great constructive feedback by saying the format sucks and people change it. I don't know why you changed it, but that might be something to look at. The crash outs are so ridiculous and so obscene and so vulgar, and don't ever show your butthole again. People really want the intro music back. And if you want more viewers, don't swear, but if you just want to continue being you, there are going to be a lot of people that don't watch. Okay, well, you just stated the obvious.
Like, whoa, 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 whoa. But it's like, hey, no, he's a good guy. Taylor is the greatest guy on earth. He gave you the
And this is where he atones for his whole video.
shirt off of that other guy's back. He'd steal it and give it to you
By calling me a thief.
because of that.
Because I think that because that other guy has 50 shirts that he still doesn't need his shirt and that I can take from him and give to someone with less than. And this is kind of a topic for an entirely different channel and an entirely different show. But I would never take one of the shirts off a back of a guy who was wearing 50 of them because he started with none and worked his fucking ass off to make all of them, just because I saw another guy shirtless and presumed that just because that guy was shirtless, he must need one of that guy's 51 shirts. If I knew that that guy without the shirt needed one, I would make it my choice to take my shirt off and give it to that guy, or create a shirt from nothing and give it to him. Or ask the guy, hey, why aren't you wearing a shirt? Well, I don't like fucking shirts. Oh, darn. I just didn't have to steal that other shirt from that other person and redistribute it to someone who didn't even fucking want it to begin with. We've got another show about this. You guys should go watch it. It's on the Sevon podcast.
He was wearing 55 shirts and he can see it. He's sitting there covered in nuclear waste, just
Nuclear. Okay, George W. Boomer ass shit.
freaking eroding away, and that guy needs a shirt, and he's not going to use that shirt to wipe himself down. He's going to give it to you. He's so
Oh, yeah.
great. So I made a video about this time last year in relation to Craig Ritchie, the rise and the fall.
The rise and the fall of Craig Ritchie. All Craig Ritchie's views went away because he stopped making content about CrossFit. Taylor, stick to CrossFit. That's what Andy's telling me right here. Well, I've got a show tomorrow with Todd Acuto. Not to bring him into this, but it is a coaching development show. And I'm not the greatest coach by any stretch of the means, but I'm working really hard to become a better one. Todd is probably one of the best that has existed ever. And if you want to learn how to be a better coach, watch him tell me how to do it. That has to do with CrossFit. The dumbbell snatch reel on Instagram had to do with CrossFit. Every workout I write for Sentinel has to do with CrossFit. The classes that I coach at CrossFit Charlotte have to do with CrossFit. What else? The behind the scenes at Mayhem was CrossFit. The behind the scenes at TFX was CrossFit. Me filming at NorCal and making a huge mistake for everyone to see, and one that I'm obviously so remorseful for, that had to do with CrossFit. What else do I do that has to do with CrossFit? Oh my gosh, like almost everything that I do has to do with CrossFit. So I don't hate CrossFit. I'm not going to go dabble in weightlifting like Craig Ritchie. Even though I wasn't good enough to make the games and be that good, I'm not going to stop doing CrossFit. I fucking love it with I love CrossFit so much. So I'll continue making CrossFit content. And you know what? I also like poop and wieners and talking about that and having fun with my friends on Saturdays. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm not going to crash out anymore. And if I do, Susan's going to mute me. We're going to change the format so that you guys are excited every single week. We're going to play the intro music again because that shit was cool and fire. And everything else, go fuck yourself. What else? Am I missing anything?
What made Craig Ritchie great? Talk about CrossFit stuff. What did you?
Oh, the other thing I enjoy doing, I do like talking about politics. If you hate politics and want to stay out of it, don't watch our show on the other channel. If you love politics, you should watch it.
Learn here.
Well, that's all I have to say. And oh, you guys got a quick snapshot of what I listen to every morning for a little bit while I do some red light therapy as my morning meditation music. And here's the deal. I'm never going to talk to Hillary again, just like I didn't talk to Brian Friend again. I saw him at NorCal. He tried to shake my hand and say, what's up? And I just said, nah, get the fuck away from me. And you know what? Again, I don't know how to reiterate this. I don't hate Hiller. I think his hit piece was fucking dumb. But yeah, he's dead to me. He's dead to me unless he probably makes another video about me, in which case I'll have to, zombie out of the grave and do another Hiller review video. I guess it's all dookie under the bridge, brother.